Hello there! This is an update for all of our tools, and we recently just put out an email to all of our customers, and we updated all of the tools to be compatible with the latest version of Blender 3.6.2 at this moment. As you can see, this is all the tools that we created in 1 year, and it's about 25, I think, and more of them are coming. We also added some extra features to some of the tools, and we also made 3 new ones since then. Also, if you go to one of the tools, for example, this is the stitches. In the Blender Market pages, you have in the bottom, you see all the updates that have been done on all of the tools. So we have here the latest version was December 30, 2.2. I added also some new things that I still have to add to this page, but here overall you can see all the things that have been added. So if you had bought one of the tools, then in later stages there will be updates and extra features, so you continue to have value from the tools that you have bought. So that makes them extra cheap and also extra useful, and keep an eye out for these updates. So in the email that we send, here you can see at the bottom all the updates and also the new tools, 3 new tools that we go over. The dimension tool, for example, we have an extra file which is a bounding box dimension system, and if we go into it, here you can see that we have a geometry node XYZ dimensions. If you put that on your model, then automatically it creates these dimensions in the X, Y and Z dimension. And if we go into edit mode and we scale it in the X, or we scale it in the Z, you see that the dimension updates, and also you can still give them the name, and you can set the size of the dimensions, also the length of the arms, so that's all customizable. And here you see it's just one node, and this one node is actually a combination of 3 of the previous nodes of the single dimensions, if you want to use them separate as well. But in this way it becomes really easy to give an overall idea of the scale of your model, and that's a new feature in the dimension tool. And then what we have next is, with the stitches, we have an extra stitch pattern and also a stitch appear animation. And if we go over that, here you can see this is the stitch tool. Here we have an extra stitch, which is 3 stitches in a row, which you can put on your model. And we also have this feature. It was, maybe you noticed already that it was there, but to explain it, it's the trim curve. It goes from 1 to -1, and it's there to make the stitches appear. So someone had some feedback and they wanted to animate the stitch, and that's why I put this feature in, that you could easily animate the stitch and make it appear if you're doing animations. So here with right mouse button you can create keyframes from 1 to -1 or in reverse, and then make them appear. And what's also, there was a little issue with the vertex groups, but now it's fixed. So in this model you have these lines which have put into a vertex group, and it's called group by default, and I left it this way. And then in the parameters you have to choose this or type it in, the name group of the vertex group, and then it will create automatically these lines. So if, for example, we grab this and we pull it up, you see the stitches will stay on that vertex group. So that can be handy sometimes. Like in animations, if you want to use this feature, it can get quite jittery. So that's why I'm not recommend this for animations. We also have an example here. What is a better way to animate? it's to apply the stitch. So that's when you say convert to mesh, then it will actually become a mesh instead of geometry node instances. And then with the surface deform, you can attach it or bind it to an animated surface. This surface is animated with the geometry nodes to have like a wavy pattern, a wavy motion, and then the stitches are bound to that surface with this surface deform. And that's, to my knowledge, the best way to use it in an animation or to apply it to a rig and to take the form of the fabric that you're using the stitch on. So that's the update to the stitch tool. And we also have one update to the zipper tool. Like we have extra features for the zipper heads and making double zippers. And we also have stitch simulation or zipper simulation in there, like the stitches. So here, as I just showed you, that it's embedded now in the file, that you have also this bound surface deform with the animation. And also here we have some extra features with is a double zipper head, so it opens and it closes again with a double head. You can turn off the heads. We also have double zipper open and close if you need to do that. We can also separate the left and right side, so sometimes people want to separately adjust them, so you can realize the instances. You can take the left side, copy it, take the right side, and then if you also convert them again with convert to mesh, you can separately adjust them without having to select all the teeth of the zipper. So there are two separate objects that you can put in a folder or a collection, as it's called in Blender, and then easily change your zipper and make it more custom if you like. So this is an extra feature, or some extra features here, and also an extra feature or extra example with an animation, so you know how you should do that. Then also we have the instances on object, where we added vertex groups. So previously we had these examples, which are just drawn onto the surface. And also this is a separate object as well, with separate elements. They're also UV unwrapped, so you can put your own elements on there. And just as in the vertex group example of the stitches, we also have here now that you have the elements that you can select the different. If we go into ghost mode, there you see these are the vertices or the edges that we put in a vertex group. Here I called it vertex group, and then here I still have to add the name here, that you can select your own name, but now if you put it in vertex group, give the vertex group the name vertex group, then it will work. But I will add another parameter for everyone to use it with the name that you like, if it's group or vertex group. And here for the elements is the same thing. So if we click this, here you see this is just a combination. It's not added to the group input. I will do that as well for the final version. But then you know that we also have like a vertex group support instead of just using the curve pen, as I explained it in all the examples before. So what more do we have? Like the instances has extra features, and then we have new tools, which are the basic nodes. Here we have basic nodes. There's some, you can go over the video and see which nodes are there. Like it's really basic, some really simple ones where you can, for example, combine objects and remesh them. You also have some simple patterns which are in it, where you can take an edge and then project text on it very simply. Also some patterns with hexagons or triangles or diagonals of a grid that you can use and easily create like a structure from it, so it becomes a 3D object instead of just edges. And there are some extra others that you can read about here. So that's a new tool. We also have UV unwrapping tool that is new. And like for example here you can see example of a ball, and you can unwrap it and it takes the same size as the ball. So if you make up a model in Blender and you unfold it, and that's just a parameter, a slider, and then it has the same size as the ball. So if you, for example, print it, 3D print it or render it in the right size, then you can fold it back into itself, and then you have a model that you can actually make from paper, for example. Or if you 3D print it, you can fold it and then maybe make some structures that way. So I was really missing something like this, something to unfold and keep the same size, so you know actually what you're doing and you can work accurately in this way. So this is what it is. It's the node and it's connected, so you can use it easily on your models. Here are also some examples. So if we go back to the mail, and we also have like a procedural live calendar. It was an idea that I found. I thought, can I do this in Blender geometry nodes and make it easy and customizable? It's basically memento mori, and that's like a remembrance of your mortality. And this is like a calendar in weeks, and this is the visualization of your whole life and all the weeks in it. And then like you can plan out maybe what you want to do in the coming years, or maybe just be like conscious of how your life is going or something. You can customize it because the geometry node is open, and you can go into it and add nodes, or maybe take away nodes, make it look more simple. So that's why it's also here. It's just a nice visualization, but maybe not as useful as the other nodes, but it could be nice. So that is a little bit update that I have on all of the tools. Also, we are going to make more tutorials in the future, because now we focus more on the tools that we created and like show you how you use the tool. But I have also some projects that are more simple, and I can easily explain how to build. So we're going to create also more tutorials that you can follow and create your own tools this way. And then together with the tools that are already there, and they're more complex, we have a nice basis to keep building on 3D Eden. And also I'm asking for people, if they make things with our tools, if you have nice renders or animations, we are really curious about what you do with our tools, and maybe we can combine them into a video and show people what is being made with our tools. So this is an update after 1 year of creating all these tools, and we will continue creating tools and updating them and keeping you informed. And we hope you like the work that we're doing. So we will keep you posted. Okay, bye bye.